So, the state of Ro MMA. The subject that's been on all our minds this past weekend in the clusterfuck that was the end of RCC, and then the rebirth of RCC, and then the defaming of the former owner of RCC to the new owner of RCC to what the fuck is even going on. Alright, time to break it down as it is. So, let's not go over the details of this. I'll probably do it on the next episode of First Take. Catch that there. But this is really interesting. Here's the thing about Ro MMA. It's basically the same thing that you're gonna get with most things in general. So when it comes to companies, corporations, and sports in general, things change. You're gonna get change in the sport. It happens naturally. And companies live or die by that change they have to make. Some by their own fault and some by not their fault. WCW pretty much ended because WWE had a better formula, had bigger stars, and focused more on entertainment. I'm getting a little carried away here. However, we are entering a new age of Ro MMA slash boxing. I would consider boxing in that category as well. You guys remember in the past where cleans was the shit. UFC was in its prime, late 2020, early 2021. Up to the point where you had Jack Jamison fighting Hunter Finley in one of the biggest fights in the history of Ro Combat. Where's that server now? I'm still in it, but how are they doing now? Ooh, struck a chord there, didn't I? The first ever Ro Combat server I was ever a part of. I'm not trashing it. I'm saying we moved on from cleans. It's hanging on by a thread now. One server is left. So, how about the Ro Combat Animated? Ro Combat Animated. RCU. RBC. RCL. Then RCC. We have seen this dramatic change over time in how Ro fighting has been viewed. RCL probably had its golden age in late 2021, early 2022. Had some great stars that they built up. RBC's golden age, probably mid 2021. We could be seeing a renaissance today considering how good the tools are now and how good the ownership is. But that's the thing about this game. Cleans died, so animated moves up. But now there's a new problem. It's a problem we faced earlier, but we never decided to address it. It was the pressure of ownership. I thought about talking about this in depth when the RBC 14 situation happened, but to be honest, it wasn't that big of a deal to really warrant it. It now is. Owners, listen up. It's going to be very difficult to own these feds. Alright? And Shen Yang, I am very glad he's owning now because I think he's a very good guy. I still think Zay did a good job with what he did until the very end. I'm not going to discredit the guy. He gave me the opportunity to commentate. But we're entering a new era. And as an owner, you are going to face scrutiny for decisions, and it's important you don't let it get to you. This happened to a lot of people. Criticism is something many people will not tolerate. Others will take it as a learning experience. I believe most good Fed owners will take it as a learning experience. Saying, yes, please don't dog on me, but give me some constructive feedback. What did I do wrong? How can I do better? It's very important to run a successful federation. I think the guidelines should be you can give criticism to the event, but do not shit talk people. Do not throw wild insults at staff members. Keep it constructive and keep it reasonable. That should be something that's easy to follow, right? Well, no, because then people get pissed off, threaten to dox you for a simple mistake you made. I'm in no way condoning what Zay did after the fact was basically setting back records, making it very difficult for us. However, he's not completely in the wrong. And I'm going to get a lot of criticism for defending him. But I like to look at it both sides. I have very limited material right here. I don't know from his perspective. I would need to talk to him, and I don't think he wants to have anything to do with me right now. And I can't get that much information from the other side except that, well, he threatened to quit it, now it's over. And there was a threat to dox him. And they were leaking some stuff about him. I would like to know his true reasoning for ending the server. Maybe he just didn't want to go anymore. Maybe he hated the fact that he was getting criticized all the time for minor stuff, things that were out of his control. However, I don't think you can get mad at people for missing an event late notice because of the fact that we have lives outside of outside of this sport. It's always going to be the issue that you're never going to solve in Ro Combat, which is, well, emergencies happen. Now that's out of the way. Where do we go from here? It's not a bad setback. We're obviously going to have RCC 4. We have really good management with Shen Yang and Tai. Wolf Entertainment on the come up. They've made some great money moves. We have what Dulon considers to be the new era of his racing federation, which I'm very excited for, and I will be there for. So catch the next event there. Misfits Boxing is taking the Ro Combat World by storm, and hopefully will gain a big audience that will not only improve the RBC, but in general Ro Combat. Because it has a character that appeals to another audience, hopefully, that will attract to RBC. RBC is more formal. Misfits has a lot of fun when it comes to card schedule, when it comes to constructing cards. APA is very good at that, and you need to give them a lot of credit for it. So that's something to consider. Another thing is the events coming up. The events have stayed relatively the same. RCC 4 on the 15th. RCC 5 on the 22nd. The Super Card. I might actually be there for the Super Card, which I cannot wait for. And now, RBC 16. And I'm going to talk about one fight now. I'm going to talk about one fight, and that's the main event. Let's have a conversation about this. You want to talk to me about this afterwards? You want me to tell me how bad my prediction is? And why I think it's going to happen? You come talk to me about it. Hell, I'll even try to get Wolf to sponsor RBC so we can get first take episodes on it, and I'll have more to talk about. But let's have a discussion, shall we? Khalid Rashad versus Castro DeVries. I will not be there for the fight. I'm very conflicted. I'm not going to the fight, but outside stuff is more important. As for who's going to win the fight, I can make an official prediction. And guys, I'm going with Castro DeVries. It will probably not see a trilogy either. Truth be told, this is going to be one of the most important chess matches you're ever going to watch. And if you are a boxer trying to get into the Ro RBC scene, you're trying to learn what it means to be a smart fighter when it comes to timing, when it comes to precision, when it comes to strategy. You got to watch these two veterans fight. Castro DeVries is a more technical fighter. Khalid is more of a power hitter, but he has developed a new set of skills when it comes to that. That being said, I'm picking Casper to win this fight. For one reason only. More technical, he can go longer. You may tell me that Khalid won the last fight, and I'm not going to doubt you, but I think there was more drastic improvement in what Castro DeVries did. Castro DeVries beat Jakub Jankowski, which is no small feat, despite what you think about Jakub. He dominated Vet Davis. What did Khalid Rashad do? Personally, I think he's the best coach we have in the RBC right now when it comes to legitimate fight teams. He's a better coach than a fighter. It's probably why I thought Rashad's going to win an RBC title, which is very exciting. But he's not winning this fight. And the Rashad family has always not had a very good opinion of me, but I've had a very good opinion of them. I think though Rashad could come out as an RBC heavyweight champion, especially with the fight they booked him. He is definitely he might become a champion, and I think he very much deserves it because he has worked for it. He's had the right corner. He's made all the right decisions, and even coming off a loss to Gabriel Maldonado has proved that he is worthy to be a champion. I mean, he maybe needs to work on promotion more, but other than that, the guy is a born champion. He fights he fights technically. He's got good timing. He's got good shot placement, and he's got the knockout power to do it. He has the cardio, and he has the ability to wail on you. This is all an extension of what Khalid Rashad has been able to do with his team. Now let's get into the fight in general. Why does Casper win this fight? Why do I think he's winning this fight? Well, it's for one reason. The ability to go the distance more. Khalid's able to do it, but I think Casper is better. I think Casper has improved more. I think he is more composed. I think he's a slightly smarter fighter. Khalid is much better guy when it comes to telling you to fight smart. He has a great game plan. The question is executing it. He's past his prime. And this is no discredit to Khalid Rashad and what he's done for the game. He had his time. He was the closest anyone ever got to beating Cruzaro until a man named Raymundo came along and almost damn well did it, even though he was supposed to win that fight as the favorite. So this is why I'm picking Casper to win. There's a new era in RBC, guys. We're pushing guys like Rebel Brook and Ace Jones to challenge for the middleweight title. We're getting Tho Rashad. There's a new extension to that. Cruzaro and Bogatti, the staples of the modern RBC, have retired. And Khalid is the final guy. And Khalid and Jacoby and Kowski still sticking around because they're the final guys of that once long gone era of the most dominant champions in the history of the sport. The titans of their divisions. Khalid, Cruzaro, Bogatti, Jacob. In my opinion, and of course Khalid isn't retiring after this fight, but he's probably never fighting for a title again. I would say money fights are next for him. And this may come off as disrespectful to him, which I am truly sorry. I don't control what I am sorry if it offends you, but this is where I'm at right now. And I do think Casper's winning this fight. It may be closer, but right now, it's clear as day. Casper can drag this fight into deep waters. He can play the TKO game. Khalid will fold, and Casper will take a TKO victory. In the biggest fight of his career, a new era at welterweight will happen, and who knows? There's also that World Super Series boxing tournament going on that features a guy named Harry Golovkin. So watch out for that.